So a while back, I looked up some videos on Prototype and learned a lot about the games that I didn't know or realize back then. I always saw the series as those games with pretty bad stories, but the game was good. Now after playing these games again, I now think of these games as those games with pretty bad stories, but the first game makes you feel like an unstoppable monster, and the second game has better dialogue. So it somewhat changed. For this video, I'm going to do an overview of the games and describe what I thought about them. Original, I know. For the first game of the series, it has a horrible story that shouldn't be followed. The second game's story is a little better, but the dialogue saves the second game.
I'm at the computer, what do I press?
First, you need
I'm pressing the red button. Shit, now the screen's all fucked up. Shit's broken.
Okay, press the alternate key. ALT
Alt?
alternate.
There's no fucking alt. I got a fucking squiggly line key. I got a fucking key with a triangle on it. What the fuck kind of keyboard is this anyway?
Oh, James, calm down. There should be a button with a blue square on it.
Okay, that's more like it.
Anyways,
Let's get started.
Prototype 1 was released back in 2009, and yeah, it definitely aged. I don't blame you if you never heard of this game or passed it aside for other games, especially if a better game released a month ago. Though this game doesn't have a strong story or dialogue or side missions either, it does have a lot of humans to kill, and its gameplay is a strong aspect. So hey, at least one thing is good. The game starts with an awesome cutscene showing off everything that the player will need to know from how this virus will fuck up New York, what the soldiers look like, what Mercer abilities are, and the carnage that comes from it. What comes after is a gameplay section that shows off more on Mercer's abilities and what he becomes at the end of the game. Yep, that's right. This is 18 days into the infection, and it refers back to day 1, right when Mercer wakes up in a morgue and escapes. The escape leads into the tutorial section of the game, which I felt wasn't completely necessary since the intro did a good job. After escaping the army, he finds his sister, Dana, and for the rest of the game she gives you information on whatever's happening. Mercer learns that a woman named Green may have info for him. Well, she escapes and monsters hatch from the room and chases Mercer. Instead of running away and escaping, he leads them to a military base. This section was awesome and a pain in the ass. Once you kill the hunter, you unlock claws and more hunters jumps in. In the early game, dealing with hunters are a fucking nightmare, mainly because they can barrage you with unstunnable attacks. Sequence 3 is basically collect data samples for this sequence. Have fun dodging rockets. Sequence 4 introduced file detectors that can reveal your location. A doctor named McMiller has knowledge of Mercer's past, so he draws him out. Unfortunately, it failed. Then he goes inside a hive to collect more data, but his special agent Cross traps him. It's not hard, but it's pretty entertaining. When you win, you assume that Mercer is going to kill him, but Mercer has a random memory flashback, and Cross injects Mercer with something. Actually, it's a biological weapon that may create a cure, but he escapes before Cross can take him. The weapon has made Mercer powerless, and he remains powerless for the next sequence. Mercer learns that a doc named Raglan can help him find McMiller. Exchange that he helps him find Patient Zero, which I have no fucking idea why, but yeah, find Patient Zero. I might as well acknowledge this before I forget. For every sequence, it shows the percentage of the infection affecting New York. It's a great touch to show how fucked New York is becoming, and shows that, yes, this is a viral outbreak. To cure yourself, Raglan needs to understand what the hell's going on. You gotta protect Doc for 4 minutes? And remember, you don't have powers, so you'll have to rely on weapons to protect Doc. It's one of the enjoyable parts in the game. Doc creates a cure, but it needs a host. Unfortunately, you gotta wait after you eject it, so yay! Trailing mission, and a broken one at that. Fortunately, it cures you while giving you new abilities. You then return to Dana and... you know what?
Fuck it!
There, I just saved you 50 minutes of bullshit. If I could sum up this fight, then it would be that it becomes a giant clusterfuck. Everything surrounding you are either tenant drills, hunters, soldiers with tanks and rocket launchers, and a giant motherfucker that can create spikes. After killing it, we then investigate suspicious spots in New York. Each spot has a phone booth with Planet's cell phone, so contact and give you missions, and explain what happened in Hope. Alright, Hope, Idaho was a city that the US military used for experimentation of the virus in 1964. In 1969, the virus finally broke out and the military basically nuked it out of existence. Green caused the outbreak, which is why she was held in imprisonment. I never explained it because it really doesn't matter in the long run. It's something that happened back then, but it doesn't matter anymore. So Contact informs you that something big is happening and hangs up. Mercer does that and experiences firsthand of what the new weapon is.
A113A, which we call blood tox due to its odd coloration, is a poison which only affects the black light virus. We'll cover the city in it to stop the spread of the virus and to kill all infected with it. To humans, it is completely harmless. So harmless, in fact, that you've been breathing it since you've entered this room. Hold it! Halt! Halt!
Now you have to escape from the base. It seems bigger than in the clip. After that, a new sequence starts. Now Mercer has to deal with the blood tox. The first mission being destroying blood toxins, then protecting a machine full of blood tox. Well, actually it pumps blood tox on the ground, which will force Green from coming out, but it also leads to the worst boss fight ever. First of all, what? Holy fuck. That takes off a large chunk of health. Secondly, hunters are spawned out of the ass and bombard you like football players and will constantly prevent you from healing. Third, green projectiles bombards you too, with them having very precise accuracy, and they always attack you. There is no time for the player to rest. So imagine all this bullshit. Imagine dealing with all this for 20 minutes. 20 goddamn minutes. But goddamn, it feels amazing fucking killing her. By the way, she wasn't a final boss. The contact basically told what Mercer should have done to get McMullen. Just turn himself in. It includes destroying machine parts, but yeah, just turn yourself in. Don't worry, Gentek won't think twice of putting you inside a facility where the director is.
He's neutralized. You know the drill. I want this in a storage unit 10 minutes ago. Bring in the bird. We're moving this to the director. Now!
Oh! Now you fucked up!
That is a foolish thing.
Mercy corners McMullen and demands answers. McMullen tells Mercer that it was he who released the virus. Then he kills himself because I guess he knew something about Hope, Idaho or something.
Going to another dead drop. Contact finally reveals himself to being Captain Cross. They tell you to prevent Tanker from escaping because if he does, you're screwed. After destroying all the helicopters, a new sequence starts. Sequence 8, i.e. the last sequence, ends with one mission, and it's my favorite. After destroying the helicopters, Tanker plans to use tanks to escape New York, but you already know what will happen. After destroying his base, he flees, but angry.
Dig in! Like it's gonna make a difference!
And I mean angry Mercer chased after him. I love it that Mercer angrily shouts at his user to try and escape. It's the only moment that Mercer actually shows emotion.
Nothing will protect you from me! Not men! Not weapons! Not armor! No one can protect you from me! Take it! You suicidal moron!
And it would have been better if Tiger wasn't antagonist of Mercer, like it was him who sent tanks to her sister, or him who ejected him with a weapon, or anything that could have made this part great.
And then there was one.
The finale to the entire game, the end of it all. It's pretty fucking boring. Cross and Mercer enter the Reagan with Randall inside. I don't give a fuck especially who Randall is. Just know that Randall is going to blow up New York. Mercer sneaks up on him, but Randall detonates the bomb. Then comes the biggest twist. Cross was actually a Supreme Hunter. I have no fucking idea why, but yeah, Cross is not human. The fight against this hunter is less hectic than the first, since it's on a boat, but be careful, since in the later half, soldiers start to run away, so make sure not to have low health. So after killing the fucker, then taking the nuke out of New York, the game just ends. And this is why I hate the story. The game focuses on the damn Idaho incident a lot, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's just something Gentek doesn't want to happen again. And even though Mercer has that evolved fires from Idaho, it doesn't matter. The strength is not in the meaning of the story, it's in the fucking gameplay. Let's talk about the upgrading system. Fortunately, you don't have to collect crap to unlock abilities, because you only need to do main missions to unlock more abilities, and EXP to unlock them. So you can unlock new powers, health upgrades, regen, combos, attacks, etc. with EXP alone. To gain more EXP, you have to do main missions and kill muties, or do side missions. I say do a handful of side missions because these missions are fucking annoying to do. Some are easy, but just annoying to do. Speaking of power-ups, let's talk about them. Each power is used in situations specific to them. Let's talk about the first power-up. Claws. They are a powerful ability that shreds enemies like paper and can spike the entire world without breaking a sweat. Aside from its abilities, its uniqueness is overshadowed by the other power-ups. Power gauntlets are for destroying gigantic enemies and tanks, early game at least. They pack a hell of a punch, but unfortunately can't destroy tanks in one shot. My favorite move is this one. Whip is a whip. It whips enemies and beheads them. It can also spear helicopters to death. It also grabs enemies from afar, helicopters too, so it makes it easy to grab enemies. Alright, now it's time to talk about the best power-up in the game, the blade. The blade does everything that the other powers does, but better. It can slice enemies, tanks, hunters, etc. like nothing. It's more useful and powerful than the other power-ups, and it overshadows all of them. Here is what the gauntlet does to a tank. And now here's the blade. Damn, this blade's tough as fuck. Much better. The blade is just better than every power up here. Just use this instead. Let's talk about the abilities that you unlock during the game. Already unlocked our air dashes and glide, which lets you glide through New York. Bad joke, I know. But really, it's incredible how fast you can travel in this game. Makes it incredible traversing with a super jump, and it makes it even better. Plus, charging the super jump every time you leap and land feels awesome. Thermal vision basically lets you see enemies afar. Pretty pointless since I can see them from my radar. Infected vision basically lets you see infected things in general, which is only needed in one mission. These abilities are pointless and are not needed. You can unlock a shield as well, which is pretty much used when running inside a crowd and ramming all the enemies in front of you. I never use the shield as I was meant to, as I see it as pointless. Plus the shield breaks from taking too much damage, so what the hell? Besides, the super armor overshadows the shield because it's so much stronger than the shield. It can't super jump or glide, but hey, just makes it feel stronger. The greatest abilities are the Devastator's abilities. Explosive like powers that skewers and kills every enemy in the game. Tendril barrages unleash tendrils everywhere, killing, but are consuming enemies like it's nothing. Ground Spike doesn't do much. Yeah, it's cool, but it doesn't do lingering damage. Lingering? Whatever. Yeah, this game has combos, but it doesn't matter since you'll be smashing square and triangle a lot. But it's good that the game gives you more options. You can launch enemies, kick them to death, skate on a corpse, dive kick them, and that's really all I know. Like I said, it's better than nothing. As you just heard, I hate the story. It focuses way too much on the Idaho incident, but nothing comes from it. The only thing that came from it was Green, and she doesn't matter until mid to late game. When you hear that Green gave birth to a baby while being infected, you might start thinking, oh, where's the baby? Is it alive or dead? Is the baby adult? Then where is it? But it's never explained. You think that Cross is a child, but he doesn't say it. It just doesn't matter. Obviously, I love how this game makes you feel like a monster. Every punch, kick, grab and throw and slices feel amazing, like he's actually attacking them. The maneuvers I like are when Mercer hijack a vehicle or helicopter because they have a fun animation to them. Also, I like that because you need them in the early game, and I think that's it. If you want to feel like a total monster, then this is the game for you. If you want to play a game with an interesting story, avoid this game. Next week, hopefully, I'll go over the sequel, which is my favorite in the series. Thank you and have a great day.